In the opener of this three-game series, Derek Lowe mowed down the Nationals with a career-high 12 strikeouts and led the Braves to a 4-0 win. But last night, Livan Hernandez matched Derek's performance. He baffled the Braves with 8 shutout innings and helped the Nationals to a 6-0 victory. So today, which pitcher will help their team take the matinee rubber match? Will it be John Lannon for the Nats or rookie Mike Minor for the Braves? We'll find out as the series wraps up on Sports South right now. Another beautiful Atlanta afternoon and a great Wednesday for a win. The Braves have a lunch date with the Washington Nationals. We play the third, final, and rubber game of our series this afternoon here at Turner Field. And all year long, Braves baseball on Sports South, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, and the low price. Good afternoon, friends. Chip and Joe back at the ballpark with you. Atlanta now 2 games behind the Philadelphia Phillies. One big reason why September's been a Jekyll and Hyde month for Bobby Cox's club.
Yeah, the Braves would like to go back to some August numbers, Chip, because right now September through the first 2 weeks has not been kind to the Braves. When you look at the offensive numbers, the Braves are dead last in the majors in home runs with only 6 homers this month so far, and the team's gone 6-8. They are 14th in the National League in slugging percentage. Compare that to the first 2 weeks of August, 18 homers on their way to 37 homers for the month and a .421 slugging percentage. They went 9-5 the first 2 weeks of August. Let's get back to some of those offensive numbers.
Yeah, a tough combination to overcome. You're not hitting for a lot of power, and unfortunately you're falling into a lot of early deficits because the starting pitching's struggling.
Hard to figure because the starting pitching has been the strength of this ball club all year long, and we know that. But, again, it's been tough lately for Atlanta. The starting numbers have not been all that good. Their record through August 18th, outstanding. First place by 2.5 games, an ERA of 3.5. But since then, they're 2 games under 500 with an ERA over 5, almost 5.5, and opponents' batting average has gone up. Are the arms getting a little tired this time of year? Sure they are. They're not as sharp as they were in April and May, but you got to hang in there, and today marks the end of this 20 straight game stretch for the Braves, and maybe the day off is just what they need. Hopefully it'll be on a win today.
With the kid Mike Minor taking the ball for the Atlanta Ball Club, John Lannon, another tough lefty, pitching well of late for the Nationals. Hey, the Washington club's been pesky. Let's see if the Braves can win another home series and put a little pressure on the Phillies in the East. Back with more from Atlanta. Game 3 of the series coming up at Turner Field in a moment. baseball in Atlanta. Let's see if the Braves can avert what has been a power outage here in the month of September. You know, Jason Hayward's capable of launching a home run or two against the Nats, as Bobby Cox in the third, final, and rubber game of the series has juggled his lineup. We'll tell you who the Braves' starting nine will be when we come right back to Turner Field in a moment. Nationals, and if you didn't have time to read the morning newspaper and check out the standings, here's the way the Eastern race and the National League wild card stacks up on September the 15th. Phillies won last night, but the Braves lost. Atlanta now 2 games behind them for the division championship. But out west, the Atlanta club got some help. The Dodgers beat the Giants, the Padres beat the Rockies, and Atlanta's lead in the wild card now a game and a half. You see the Padres-Rockies play later this afternoon. Roy Halladay takes the ball for Philadelphia at 7 o'clock tonight against Jorge Sosa and the Florida Marlins. Mike Minor is on the mound. A perfect 3-0 in his rookie season, but he's been tagged a couple of times in a row for Atlanta.
His last couple of starts, that's where the problem lies. 2 starts against Florida and St. Louis. Even though he got no decision, he went 9 innings total in those 2 starts, 16 hits, 10 runs, only 1 walk. That's a good thing, and 9 strikeouts. He is undefeated here at home at 2-0. His 4 keys to pitching success today: finish him off. He has a little trouble with 2 outs. He's got a high average against him with 2 outs, so finish the inning strong today after you get off to a good start in an inning. And those XBH, extra base hits, of the 16 hits he's allowed in his last 2 starts, 9 have been for extras. Got to cut down on those.
First pitch of the game is bunted by Danny Espinosa. And 1 pitch. 1 out. Good play at third by Martin Prado. Here's Washington's lineup for their skipper, Jim Riggleman. Don't know if he and Desmond will win the Rookie of the Year, but I'll bet he's made a lot of believers out of the Braves. He has worn out this Atlanta pitching staff this year. No Adam Dunn for Washington in Game 3 as well.
That's a real shame.
Yeah. Here's another speedy guy in Niger Morgan, a 6-game hit streak. What, you don't want to see Adam Dunn swing the bat again today after that performance last night?
I love watching Adam Dunn swing the bat. Don't get me wrong. It's like a heavyweight boxer to see how hard he can punch. However, after the damage he inflicted last night, I'll wait to see him in Washington when the Braves go in there in the next road trip. One of the things that Mike needs to do is get back to basics, and what was really effective for him in his first few starts was establishing his fastball in to both lefties and righties. Looks like he's trying to do just that here today.
And while Mike has had trouble finishing off innings, finishing off hitters with 2 strikes has not been a problem for him.
No, nobody's doing much at all with 2 strikes. Very low average. And he's 1 and 2 on Niger.
Slowly hit. Tough play. Good play by Omar Infante.
That was brilliant. With a guy who runs as well as Niger Morgan, are you kidding me? Curveball, he kind of jammed himself and kind of flipped the ball over to Troy Gloss while in midair. What a play.
So 2 good efforts on the infield at third and at second. Now Ian Desmond will stand in. And if you didn't catch the game last night, my partner made a great point about this kid. The shortstop for the Nationals resembles Derek Jeter in a lot of ways physically.
Especially in that side shot there when he's at the plate.
And if he turns out to be as good a player as Derek Jeter, the Nationals will be very, very excited.
I think they will be. Our Geico quote of the day comes from Ian Desmond, who last night homered, and on beating the Braves he said there's not a whole lot to play for this late, so to spoil it for them feels really good. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Let's see if they can spoil things for the Phillies after they leave town. That's where the Nationals go next. And now Desmond will go to shortstop as Mike Minor strikes him out and works a perfect top half of the first inning. Let's see if the Braves can give him a first inning lead. Braves only 7-7 against the last place Nationals in 2010, something Matt Diaz hopes to change as he's worn out their starter John Lannon. Matt has racked up 8 hits and 19 career at-bats.
John Lannon's 25 years old, 6'4", 215 from Long Island, New York. Since he came back from Double-A, 8 starts, and he's gone 5-2 with an excellent ERA and just 9 walks against 35 strikeouts. 1 start against the Braves this year here at Turner Field. He beat the Braves 6-2, and he pitched into the 6th inning. Lifetime 4-4 against Atlanta.
Right back to the pitcher on the game's first pitch by Lannon.
Both pitchers getting out on their first pitch. That one was very defensive. His 4 keys to success today we'll give to you as soon as we see this defensive play. Saving a base hit that would have gotten through for a base knock. His 4 keys, road warrior. He's won 3 straight games on the road with an ERA of 2.45 and zone command, or zone commando as the case would be here for road warrior. He's got to be sharp and not pitch to the middle of the plate. He has an excellent cutter. He's got a good slider, but he's not a guy that's going to get away with pitching to the center of the plate.
I got to tell you, got to stop pandering to our military audience watching the game today.
I was thinking more about the video game players.
Well, those too.
That might be a new video game.
1 ball, 1 strike. Our broadcast this afternoon is on AFN, the Armed Forces Network.
Okay.
That's why he's the best analyst in the business. They're broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries as well as ships at sea. And our fine military men and women are watching the game tonight in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan.
Hey, this game's starting so early today, they don't even have to stay up late to watch it overseas.
Right.
It's great. Started early today because it's weather day here at the ballpark. We'll explain in a second.
Jason swings and misses and is Lannon's first strikeout.
Once a year, Turner Field hosts a ton, literally 1,000 elementary school kids for Weather Day. And the ABC affiliate here, Channel 2, brings out a couple of their weathermen, hosted by David Chanley, and they give all kinds of information, and it's like a road trip, like a field trip for the kids. So they started early for them so they can get them back to school to catch their bus to go home when it's into the school day.
Great idea. And it's really fun for us to see how excited the kids get, not only to be at the ballpark, but when the game actually starts. They're really into it. They've been cheering since the first pitch. And that'll give them something else to cheer about. Prado lines a shot into the left field corner. And that snaps an 0-for-11 streak at the plate for Martin Prado.
He needed that. Not only was he 0-for-11, it wasn't like some other stretches this year where he was hitting the ball hard right at people. He hadn't made very good contact over the last 3 days, but boy, this ball smoked. No stride, and kept it fair right down the line and into the corner. Good start for Martin's day.
So he's in scoring position for Troy Gloss. A rare start for Troy since coming back from the disabled list and the acquisition of Derek Lee. Troy got a pinch hit appearance last night and falls behind, strike 1. That play by Lannon may have saved a run as he robbed Omar Infante to start the game. Hayward struck out, then the Prado double. Now 2 outs for Gloss. Popped up. And at second, Espinoza has a beat on it and makes the play to retire the side. Braves get a 2-out double from Prado. Can't cash it in. And this duel of left-handers is tied as we head to the second inning. South are brought to you in part by AT Uverse, by McDonald's, and by Georgia Power. No score, second inning on a gorgeous day. You're going to have weather day at the ballpark. I would guess this is the kind of day you'd like. Temperature here is supposed to get up into the low 90s by mid-afternoon, but no humidity.
See, they even brought all the weather gear out. 85 degrees at game time.
One ball, one strike to third baseman Ryan Zimmerman. He's red hot, 5-game hit streak.
He's one of those guys that I like watching play, and that if I'm a fan, I would pay to come watch play when they come to town. Yeah, I like watching Ryan Zimmerman play. I like watching him hit. He's I think he's going to get better as a third baseman in the coming years. His throwing action is a little unorthodox, but he's fearless at third base and just a tremendous offensive player.
And as you've said a couple of times, despite a lot of moving parts in his swing, he's hitting over 300 this year. With 25 home runs and 83 knocked in.
But it's just such a, despite all that, it's a pretty swing to watch when he connects, because it just seems like his timing and everything is just perfect, and getting that foot down and getting the barrel of the bat to the ball. Not this time.
Mike finishes off another hitter with 2 strikes. Second strikeout in the ball game.
Good change.
And he's retired the first 4 he has faced. Rock Legends REO Speedwagon will perform a free post-game concert presented by Delta Airlines and Coca-Cola. That's after the Braves and Phillies wrap up the regular season Sunday, October 3rd. For tickets, on-field passes, or to meet the band, visit Braves.com/REO Speedwagon.
You can stop saluting now, sir.
He knows it's Armed Forces Network Day, too.
Tell you what, he did a pretty nice job of fashioning himself a little sun visor there, didn't he? Pretty good.
Mike Morse, the batter. He's got 10 homers and 30 knocked in.
Good change up again from Mike. When you talk about facing the Washington Nationals, you say, well, the Braves are only 7-7 against the lowly Nationals. They're in last place. Why can't the Braves beat the Nationals? Well, check this out. Team batting average, Nationals have actually out-hit the Braves. They've out-homered the Braves. The runs are even at 48, but they have 10 more homers than the Braves in those 14 games. And they've out-pitched Atlanta, which really surprised me when I saw those comparatives.
And this hasn't been just a one-season scenario. The Nationals have won 25 of the last 45 games played between these two teams. So they have been a real thorn the last couple of years.
Think of them as the old Expos, and you know how much trouble Montreal always gave Atlanta.
Braves trying to win this game, wrap up a winning homestand, wrap up another winning series. Then we'll wish Washington good luck against the Phillies. They head there next.
Well, it appears that the Nationals, the Phillies may be adjusting their rotation a little bit. Cole Hamels pitched yesterday, which set him up to pitch Sunday against Washington, but it looks like Hamels might be pushed back to face the Braves.
That's launched into left center field, and that will bounce into the seats. A ground rule double for Mike Morse, and that hit equals his career high. It's his 11th double of the season, and Washington has its first base runner aboard.
Went down and got a pretty good low pitch. Head stayed down on the ball. He's a big, strong guy, and certainly is doing all he can to try to factor into their plans for next year. And came into the game hitting .356 over his last 17 games.
Now the catcher, Wilson Ramos, will bat. And Heiner fooled him with strike one.
Well, that's a good pitch because he swung at the first pitch. His first two at bats against Derek Lowe the other night, hit two really long balls that barely stayed in the ballpark.
Again, going back to your 4 keys to the game, extra base hits allowed by Mike. The first National safety today, a 1-out double. Alex couldn't glove that ball. I don't know if he never saw it or if it was knuckling or what, but he couldn't handle a line drive, and 2 are on with 1 out.
I think it must have been knuckling, Chip, because it looked like Ramos fought it off. Like he got jammed, and he was there to catch it, and then it just kept drifting to his right. And it was funny because Morse was hustling back to second to make sure he didn't get doubled up, and he couldn't advance. So that's a break.
Now Alberto Gonzalez will hit. And the double play in order if Mike can get a ground ball with one out.
He's in there for Dunn today, and part of the reason is because he's got real good numbers against left-handed pitching on the year, hitting .325.
Bobby Cox said that Adam Dunn's homer might have been the longest he's ever seen hit here. In between one of the pillars that holds up the scoreboard and the chop house. For Adam last night, that was his 35th long ball of the season. 7 straight years he's hit 35 home runs or more in a year.
If you missed it last night, here's what Chip's talking about. High change up. He got it all. Look up above the seats there at the top of the stairway and bouncing out into the center field plaza.
I mean, those folks sitting in the table right off the corner of the chop house had to think, hey, we're out of range here.
Yeah, you'd think.
But Dunn absolutely crushed that pitch. And Washington never looked back. They won 6-0.
They can make some announcements out there next year when the Nats come in. Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention. Adam Dunn is at the plate.
Now all of a sudden, after the double and the knuckling line drive hit, Gonzalez walks to load the bases, and Justin Maxwell is the hitter, and only one out. Maxwell does not have a hit this year against Atlanta pitching.
And he's only hit into 1 double play in 76 at bats. But he does strike out a lot, and a strikeout here would be nice.
Where you have the pitcher John Lannon waiting. Driven deep left. That's big time trouble. A grand slam home run for Justin Maxwell. And the first hit of the year for the Nationals outfielder is a grand salami, and it's 4-0 Washington.
Yeah, the first hit against the Braves. Braves were in a 3-0 hole after the top of the second last night. They're in at least a 4-0 hole in the top of the second today. That one didn't just squeak over either. Another extra base hit.
2 in the game and the inning. Maxwell with 3 lifetime grand slams. Washington 15 home runs now hit against Braves pitching this year. And to illustrate your point that we talked about a few moments ago when the game began, Braves have not had a lot of power in September, and they're down 4 to a tough left-handed pitcher.
Maxwell's got 9 career homers now and 3 slams. That's a pretty good ratio.
So he's good to the last pop, is Maxwell House. And it's 4-0, still with 1 out. And John Lannon. He strikes out. Top of the order now. 2. A double, single, walk, and a slam for Washington in the inning. And he strikes out the side and has 4 in the game. But for the magic number for Washington, they strike first. Again, the second inning problematic for the Braves starting staff. 4 runs on 3 Washington hits. The Braves down early.
Everyone's in on the discussion.
We got some coaches giving some love tonight. It's getting heated. We're going to Twitter to see how the fans feel about it.
Tune in, log on, and sound off on SECGridironLive.com.
John Lannon staked to a 4-run lead. Looked like Mike he did make a mistake to Maxwell, and it cost him a grand slam home run.
Yep, fastball. Split the plate. So you got to go to work.
Starts with Matt Diaz, then Alex Gonzalez, and a liner into right. Morris can't cut it off. That'll go to the fence. Matt might think about 3. Nope. Throws out an anchor and settles for a leadoff double.
Braves have been shut out 16 straight innings by Washington pitching. And over that 16 innings, this is the 9th hit. They've only had 3 runners in scoring position. 1 2 nights ago when they didn't score in their last 6 innings. 1 last night and 1 today. Now 2 today.
Little high to the Braves shortstop, Alex Gonzalez. He's hit 22 home runs. He's knocked in 81 between his stint with the Blue Jays and now the Braves.
Get him over, get him in. Cut the lead down to 3. Start chopping it down.
In the air to left center, but playable for Morgan. Diaz tags, and he will make it safely. That's making lemonade out of lemons right there.
It was good base running. He also Matt also caught Niger Morgan a little bit flat-footed when he caught the ball. He couldn't get much on the throw and actually threw the ball into the relay man Desmond. So a good play here by number 23.
And now a chance for Melky Cabrera to score the first run of the day for Atlanta. He's had a rough homestand, 1 for his last 15.
Didn't play in the first 2 games of this series, so it's been a couple of days since he's been up there. Lannon's pitched into the 7th inning or better in each of his last 3 starts, including the last time out against Florida. He got beat 3-1, but worked 6 2/3 innings. He walked 3 that day, but only 44 walks and 125 innings on the year. So you'll take a free pass.
And he'll have runners at the corners for David Ross, the Braves catcher, who's knocked in 27 men.
Cutter. That's the pitch he threw to Troy Gloss with a runner at second, 2 out in the first. Got Troy to pop up, and that's something he'll try to feature to David here too, to try to jam him and maybe get him to hit the ball on the ground, or at the very least pop it up like Troy did. But if he hits it on the ground, good chance for a double play.
Hope you enjoyed David mic'd up last night. He was into it too. He was having a good time wearing the microphone last evening.
Very entertaining.
What did he say? We always score when he eats dill pickles and peanuts.
Last night he needed to find another food group.
Yes.
You're trying to be patient here. You're trying to get a good pitch to hit to drive that run in. But you also know you're the 8th place hitter and the pitcher's on deck. So now that the count's 2-2, he's going to have to broaden his zone a little bit to try to put the ball in play, avoid a double play, and still get the run in.
And if you think about running with 1 out to try to help stay out of a double play chance, that's complicated because you got Lannon, who's a left-handed pitcher, looking right at that base runner at first base.
Yeah, which will help Ramos, who's only or has failed to throw out a base stealer so far in his big league career, 0 for 7, and launched one into center after Lannon completed his warm-ups this inning.
Off the pitcher's glove, and that's going to turn into a double play. Unbelievable.
Wow.
1-6-4-3, a double play instead of a run-scoring hit. The Braves' offensive frustrations continue in inning number 2. Nationals 4, Braves nothing. We head to the 3rd inning. An early lead in Atlanta. Last game of this homestand and of this series, obviously. And a travel date tomorrow for the Braves, and then the final road trip of the regular season. And it's a biggie. 3 in New York, 3 with the Phillies, then 3 again with the Washington Nationals at Nationals Park. We will have 8 of those 9 games for you here on Sports South. And that is our AirTran upcoming showdown road trip.
After a slow start, the Braves played pretty well against the Mets. That's a good sign, although New York's played well at Citi Field this year, too. First things first, got to take care of business here at home against the Nationals, who've been staked to a 4-0 lead.
And something does have to give. The Braves have lost only 1 home series all year. Jim Riggleman's Washington team has won only 1 road series all year. That's amazing. Minor makes another good play. Morgan's been thwarted twice on the infield and is 0 for 2.
Nationals have a good record, too, when they score first. They are 41-28 when that happens.
One ball, no strikes to Ian Desmond. This guy's been a tough man for the Braves to solve this year. He has 14 hit against Atlanta. 4 of those have been home runs. And he hit one in the 9th inning last night with the center field fence. This one to right. And quickly 2 out. Time for a money and energy saving bright idea from Georgia Power. Set your thermostat to 78 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. Go to GeorgiaPower.com for more energy saving tips. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
We do that at home. And it's been so pleasant at night lately, you don't need anything on. Just open the windows up.
Zimmerman struck out his first time and hits a mile-high fly to right. And Mike Minor, a nice recovery in the 3rd, gets the Nationals in order. 4-0 your score on a beautiful day in Atlanta.
4-0 Washington. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Time for our Xfinity X Factor. Braves record when they score 2 or less is just 4-35 on the year. But down there at the bottom, you get them 4 runs or more, they win about 80% of the time. And guess what it's going to take today? 5 or more.
And it starts with Mike Minor. Looking for that first official base hit. And look at where Mike Morris is playing in right field. He must have been watching the praying mantis.
Yeah, it keeps creeping in. Minor got a base hit his first time up. But Hunter Pence charged the ball from right field and threw him out at first, so no hit.
He would have taken care of a couple of things with that play. Speaking of Mike, he would have had an RBI too down in Houston.
He was peppering Terry Pendleton with questions yesterday about his swing and getting ready for today's start. Be some more peppering going on later.
Second strikeout for Lannon. And Omar Infante will dig in. Boy, Omar not only has been an Iron Man for the Braves in the leadoff spot, he's been a very productive Iron Man. Laser Baker tells us that Infante's played in every game for the Braves since July 28th. This is 48 in a row now. And in that stretch, he's hit .354.
Incredible.
And his average now at .339 for the season. After this at bat, he'll need 66 plate appearances to qualify for the batting title in the National League. And his current .339 mark would, were he to qualify, be 1 point behind Carlos Gonzalez of the Rockies, who's batting an incredible .340.
Padres and Rockies have a day game today. Starts at 3:10 Eastern time.
Clayton Richard and Jorge De La Rosa. Well, that is a big series for San Diego. As badly as they've been struggling, they've won the first 2 and have knocked the Rockies 3.5 games back, and they've done that at Coors Field. The Padres closer Heath Bell's on a great run. Had a shaky 9th, but racked up his 29th consecutive save. That ball was in the dirt. And Lannon has his 3rd strikeout, and the bases are clear for Jason Hayward. And Jason's one of the subjects of our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard.
On base percentage, second only to Joey Votto. Ryan Zimmerman on that list too in 6th place.
Jason's still a kid, and the Braves press notes mentioned that only 5 other players since 1900 have had a .400 or better on-base percentage at the age of 20. How about these names on the list? Mel Ott, Hall of Famer. Ted Williams, Hall of Famer Al Kaline, Jimmy Fox, and another player who's still active. And that player is Alex Rodriguez.
His knowledge of the strike zone has really helped in that regard.
And for those of you hair splitters out there, with Jason 21, he's playing in what is called his 20-year-old season. And here he is again, way ahead in the count. And here's a board with 2 outs. Seems to me like they have pitched around him this entire series.
That's his 4th walk he's drawn. He's been hit by pitches twice. He's 1 for 4 outside the walks and hit batters.
So Prado hits. He pulled the ball down the third base line. That was a 2-out double his first time up. And the Braves are running into a different John Lannon than we have seen in the past. 5-2 since the 1st of August. And instead the minors. Hayward somehow. Well, it did hit him. I thought Jason skipped over that baseball, but the batted ball hits Jason Hayward. First base umpire Jerry Meals makes the call. Hayward's going to ask for some help from Dan Iasonia. And a batted ball hitting the base runner means he's out. Did it get him? Bobby Cox wants an explanation. And Jason, after the chat, says yes, apparently it did hit him.
Looked like it did hit the spikes.
So credit Prado with the hit. Hayward is out. I assume they'll give the put out to the second baseman. We'll clarify that as we move the 4th inning down 4-0.
I think you'll see that the ball struck some part of Jason's shoe, if not his spikes. It's the bottom of his foot. Now watch, there's going to be a little dirt fly off right there too, a little dirt cloud right off the heel of his spikes. So the umpires appear to have called that one right.
And were it not for bad luck, the Braves wouldn't have any luck at all in this game. Instead of 1st and 2nd and a chance to continue the inning, Braves are out of luck. Also had a RBI hit turn into a double play. Now move along to the 4th inning with Mike Morse, the man that started the offensive splurge in the 2nd. Jack Wilkinson, the official score at the ballpark, has clarified the scoring ruling on that batted ball by Martin Prado. He does get a hit, and the ruling calls for the man closest to the play to get credit for the putout. It wasn't the second baseman in Jack's opinion, but the first baseman. So he's credited with the putout of Hayward to end the third inning. And strike 3 to Morse for the first out. Nothing wrong with a strikeout ball from Minor. That's 40 in his young big league career against only 9 walks.
That's 6 in a row set down since the home run, too. Just one of those things that you beat yourself up about with respect to the homer, in that, okay, you had a tough break on the ball that Ramos hit that knuckled away from Alex.
And he's now 2 for 2.
But then you walk Gonzalez. That's what kind of set the tone for everything, was the walk to Alberto Gonzalez, and then you give up a grand slam to a guy hitting 132 who doesn't play every day.
Well, extra base hits, another one of those keys you were concerned about with Minor's start. Nationals have 4 hits in the game. 2 of them have left the ballpark. One of them a home run, one of them a ground rule double. But let's see if he can shut him down the rest of the way, and hopefully the Braves will get something done. What's the scoreless streak up to now at the plate?
18.
Braves a chance to turn 2, and a beautiful feed gets the job done.
That's 3 outs. There's 3 outs, isn't it, boys?
That's 3 outs. Braves don't realize how many outs there are. Strikeout, single, and a double play, and that will retire the side. What's going on out there today? Mike, you only need 3. They are having a good time despite this 4-0 score. And as Troy Gloss leads the inning off, let's take a look at our AT Universe trivia question. Who holds the Nationals Expo single season record for homers by a shortstop?
That's a real good question. They've had some rather light hitting shortstops.
Did Mark Grudzielanek play shortstop for him?
He did.
He had some pop.
Yeah. Chris Spire. Orlando Cabrera.
Is Yuppie a potential winner on the trivia?
Yeah, we're going to have a question later on in the road trip about dumbest mascots in history. Yeah.
You don't like Yuppie, huh? It's a big no. And leadoff walk has Gloss aboard to start the Braves' 4th inning. 3 walks in the game for Lannon today. Braves now accepting deposits for new 2011 season tickets. Join the VIP priority list today and get your first pick on the best seats for the 2011 season. To order, visit Braves.com/season tickets. Call 404-577-9100.
Well, already 3 walks from Lannon. That's an unusual number in only 3 innings plus 1 batter. So a quick talk from Ramos' catcher. Got a 4-run lead. Make the Braves put it in play. In trouble only in 1 inning. The 2nd inning, Braves had him 1st and 3rd, 1 out, and it looked like David Ross had hit a base hit up the middle, but a deflection off the pitcher's glove turned it into a double play. Hitting fool up there right now, though. That's always trouble.
The hitting fool's going to have an extra base safety. Gloss around second, on his way to 3rd. Brian Snitker will hold him there with nobody out. Daily double for Matt Diaz. 2 two-base hits.
1 to right center and 1 yanked right down the line. I like this camera angle here for Foxmo from above the Braves bullpen. Gives you a good look at the whole swing for the right-handed hitter. Braves set up to have a good inning.
Popped him up on the first pitch. That really hurts. And when your club's not hitting a lot of home runs, you've got to take advantage of the opportunities you have to manufacture some offense. And Alex pops out with runners 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. Melky walked his first time.
They're giving you the runs. Just got to put it in play on the ground somewhere to get the first one in. Base hit would pick up Alex Gonzalez and get 2 in. Melky showing some patience, no hurry. Get a good pitch to hit. Great change up there. It's diving down.
And now a 2-2 count.
And that's another reason they're playing sub 500 ball over the last 25 games. High starters ERA and not being able to pick up runs when they get opportunities.
That'll get one home. A look to the plate. Cabrera breaks his bat. Gloss scores, and it's now a 4-1 game. Diaz had to hold at second. Melky Cabrera's 41st RBI.
Well, he put it in place. Good for Melky there to get his 41st RBI, but the Braves could have had more a couple of innings ago. You saw the deflection off of Lannon's glove, went right over to Desmond, who started the double play. Otherwise, that's into center field for an RBI.
Let's see how carefully Lannon works with Ross in the box, and the pitcher due next.
Eric O'Flaherty is throwing in the Braves bullpen.
And it isn't Mike Minor in the on-deck circle.
No, it's Derek Lee.
Might be a decoy. See if Lannon pitches to David instead of pitching around him.
I don't think you can afraid to decoy. You can afford to decoy down 3 in a very important ball game. They're all important at this stage of the season, of course, but just, I mean, you got to take advantage of the opportunities when you get them, especially when you've got an army of guys down there in the bullpen to use.
But I mean, Mike still has the batting helmet and the bat. But you are right. This is the time of year where you don't worry about hurt feelings. You don't worry about ego. You don't worry about anything but trying to win that at bat, that inning, that game.
You got a lot of bodies to use, a lot of bullets to fire. No reason to save any of them.
3 balls and a strike. Lannon not sure about that call.
Yeah, it looked pretty good, actually. But no reason for David to swing at it because he was looking for something middle of the plate in. Hitters count here. He'll be looking for something middle of the plate in he can drive. And this pitcher and catcher having a real hard time getting together with a runner at second. Changeup. He followed a changeup a minute ago to Cabrera with a real good cutter right in on him. Not the one that he grounded out on, but one that he swung and fouled off, just fought off. So let's see if he follows that pattern after the 3-1 changeup to go to a 3-2 cutter.
Broken bat, rolled short. And the side is retired. Braves get a leadoff walk and cash that in on a ground out by Melky Cabrera. And through 4, the Washington lead now 3.
Light, cold hard blast, and it came from the guy who's going to lead off this inning, Justin Maxwell. 3 guys on base, sacks full of gnats. He cleared them. His 3rd home run of the year, only the 9th home run of his career, and 3 of them have been grand slams, including the one today. That's the Coors Light cold hard blast to provide the Nationals with their 4 runs.
Mike Minor will stay in the ball game. And David Ross reached. Almost certainly Mike would have been taken down. David didn't. And with the 8, 9, and 1 spots coming up, Mike back to work.
Oh, good pitch.
Maxwell was the 2nd player drafted by the Nationals. Zimmerman was the 1st. He's out of Bethesda, Maryland, and the University of Maryland. And he will face a 3-ball, 2-strike count.
Here's another good pitch. See what Fox Track has to say about this. A little bit off, tailing away. Good call, Paul Nauer.
Popped up left side. Prado, bright sunshine, will run out of room. Today's Braves broadcast on Sports South, presented in beautiful high definition by H.H. Gregg. Everything beautiful at the ballpark except the score. Washington enjoys a 4-1 lead. Off his thumbs and popped to second.
Nationals go to Philadelphia after a day off tomorrow. They have a 3-game weekend series with the Phillies. They'll face Roy Oswalt, Kyle Kendrick, and Joe Blanton. Phillies are 5-7 against. Excuse me. The Nationals are 5-7 against the Phillies for the year.
Deep short. Alex sets, long throw, and got the pitcher by a step.
Alex always does such a good job of setting his feet. He never gets in a hurry. He knew who the runner was. Wasn't concerned about the pitcher blazing it down the line, but took his time to get his feet under him, set up, make a good throw. Most important thing, of course, catch the ball. Once he did that, regrouped and planted, and a good strong throw.
Espinosa, the 3rd-round pick by the Nationals back in 2008. We mentioned he's out of Long Beach State. That 2008 draft for Washington, kind of a good news, bad news scenario. Their #1 pick was right-handed pitcher Aaron Crow. They didn't sign him. They did get Espinosa in the 3rd round, but by not signing Crow, they got a compensation pick the next year in 2009. Well, you know, they took Strasburg #1. They took Drew Storen 10th, and he's their closer. So Washington made the best out of a disappointing draft situation by drafting their 9th inning man and getting a man they think might be their everyday second baseman next season as well.
I don't know where that hit David Ross, but it almost bounced all the way back to the mound. Must have gotten him in the shoulder a little bit. He's kind of adjusting that pad over his right shoulder. Bounced so far out in front of the home plate that it's kind of hard to block, but it got that little round pad. And he's glad Mizuno sticks that on there in this occasion.
That's what, a couple years that's been on the chest protector of the catchers? I don't remember that 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, it used to be that chest protectors were wide up over the left collarbone, but not so wide on the right, so as not to infringe on a catcher throwing. But as you see, those are really loosely attached pads that will move with the catchers, not get in the way of the throwing. So great improvements there.
Looks like a design from Walt Disney, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Strike 3, a late call. Espinosa was a third of the way down the first base line, thought he earned a walk. Instead, he'll strike out for the 2nd time in the game. Braves trying to snatch some momentum away from Washington. They may have just gotten a break. Well, Mike Minor will be taken down after 5 innings. 4 of those 5 innings were outstanding.
He pitched great. I mean, except for 1 inning. In the second inning, started with a strikeout of Zimmerman. And it looked like he had Morse where he wanted him, and then gave up the ground rule double, and that led to a 4-run inning.
So Mike's line, 5 innings, 4 runs, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. And, of course, the grand slam, the difference in the game. So Conrad will pinch hit for him. And then the top of the order will go to work.
You're going to have to do a better job over there holding your water.
Yeah, those cups, they hold a lot of liquid, don't they? And Bobby Cox trying to change the offensive luck. Braves finally broke their scoreless drought. But still down 3 runs in the middle innings. And Brooks Conrad down on strikes. And 1 man down. Brian McCann has an off day today, but it was a busy morning. He received an Emmy from Sports South today for the show's Spotlight Brian McCann. So he's now not just All-Star and Silver Slugger, but Emmy Award-winning Brian McCann. And if you haven't seen Spotlight Brian McCann, tune in to Sports South, 7 o'clock, September 23rd, for your chance to see the show.
Don't know what's going on here, but Jim Riggleman came out to talk to Paul Nauert, who wants to speak to Dale Scott, the crew chief, about something on the mound. I don't know if this is a complaint that John Lannon had lodged with his manager before.
You saw Dale Scott indicate as if they might want to use that tamping device to pack the dirt in front of the slope of the mound.
Well, that's quickly remedied. Ed Mangan and his crew can knock that out in just a few seconds if that's the issue.
But if Lannon's not complaining,
yeah,
then don't know what grounds the manager would have to ask there to be an adjustment out there. It's not like he's pitching badly. He's given up 1 run on 4 hits. And now faces Omar Infante, who's 0 for 2. He's not 0 for 2 anymore. Sliding stop by Maxwell in left, but not before Infante picks up a double. And the Braves in business here in the 5th inning.
4 doubles for the Braves on the day, too. Need to get him around. Good swing by Omar, who had been just 2 for 10 in the series before this base hit. How about a big inning? See how carefully Lannon pitches him this time around.
Jason walked last time up, was on base when Martin Prado hit a ground ball that clipped him in the foot. And that was the 3rd out in the 3rd inning for the Braves. Oh, he flinched, but the pitch too high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
look at the batting average splits for John Lannon for the year, you find that lefties are actually hitting him a little better than right-handers. Perhaps because he can't use that slider, or the changeup as much to them as he does to right-handed hitters.
Fly ball to left. And that was something I always wondered why teams didn't try to do with our pal Tom Glavine. Everybody knew how good his changeup was. Why you wouldn't try to take that pitch away from him by stacking your lineup with more lefties than righties.
Make him adjust.
They get Hayward on a fly ball. Now Prado is up. Martinez 2 for 2 today. This ball game wrapping up a stretch for Martinez of 29 straight since August 17th. And coming into play today, Prado's batting average this month, 254.
A few more breaking balls this inning from Lannon, too. He's been primarily cutter, sometimes slider and changeup to the right-handed hitters. Good sinker there.
There's a base hit to left. Infante around third. Maxwell's throw is way off target. Now they've got Prado in a rundown. He's going to try to dive back to first, but he is the third out.
He hesitated just for a second, Chip, on going to second base on that overthrow, and had he kept running, I think he'd have made it.
But he's 3 for 3, and he picks up his 66th RBI. Infante scores before that third out. And there's the pause, and it cost him. But Atlanta creeping back into this game, down 4-2 now after 5. KFC, by AirTran Airways, and by Verizon. 4-2 game now as we head to the 6th inning. There will be a delay before the start of the frame, as Ed Mangan and the best grounds crew in baseball has some mound work underway.
There's your tamper, and that is some clay, very much like what they use after the game to fill in all the holes and make the mound ready for the next day's game. I just think it's odd that John Lannon wasn't complaining to the umpires. It was Jim Riggleman who came out and kind of got this all started. But obviously Lannon had complained to Riggleman between innings.
So while the grounds crew continues their work on the mound, and before Peter Moylan begins his warm-ups, we'll step aside quickly and come back for the 6th inning. Bobby Cox makes the AT call to the bullpen. Moylan, the first in relief of Mike Minor today.
Peter worked in 3 games of that Cardinals series over the weekend, but in fact 3 straight games, but this is the first game since. And in the Cardinals series, he worked a total of 2 innings over 3 outings, gave up 2 hits and a run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Those are his numbers for the year, and this is game number 75 for him. And 4 home runs allowed this year compared to none last year. One of those, though, was an inside the Parker that snapped his homerless streak when McLouth and Hayward ran together in Arizona.
Peter worked 87 games last season. This is 75 this year. That's 162 games.
Wow.
And we still have 2.5 weeks left in this one. And in 2007, you'll recall, he was in 80 ball games. So he has been very, very busy. And he'll start the inning with Niger Morgan, who has been denied hits twice. Still no word on when Morgan will be suspended. He has 15 games worth of suspensions for which he's already had his appeal hearing. But no word yet from Major League Baseball as to, number 1, if there's going to be a reduction, or number 2, when he will start to serve those suspensions. Pitch, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Look at Peter pounce off the mound and take care of Morgan.
You know, he did something different there, Chip, and I liked it. It wasn't with a runner on base, but he kind of quick pitch. It was like a slide step to the hitter. Kind of jumped on him in a hurry and actually jammed Niger with that pitch. Watch the step. No leg kick, just a real quick step to the plate, and the pitch was on him.
And Peter will get 2 minutes for cross-checking on that play.
Boarding.
As the former amateur hockey player Morgan retired for the third time. Here's Desmond.
Hey, speaking of that, Billy Moore's directing his last game for us this year, and will be on to hockey very soon. We wish him well during the Thrashers coverage on Sports South this winter.
And the Thrashers, too. Hope they have a great year. One ball, one strike. Ten homers for the Nationals shortstop. Earlier we asked the trivia question, who's the all-time Expos / Nationals home run leader as a shortstop?
I liked your Mark Grizzolana call. Did Hubie Brooks ever play for the Expos?
I believe he did. Yeah, played third base.
Third.
We know it wasn't Jacques Doucette or Claude Delorme or Roger Brulotte.
That's a hard pitch to foul off there, Mr. Brulotte. That slider in on your hip. I would all fine broadcasters for the Expos.
And Desmond will stay alive. Our sport is always evolving. It's always changing, always growing. When Ozzie Smith was breaking in with the San Diego Padres, shortstop was never really considered to be an offensive position. Cal Ripken certainly helped change that. Barry Larkin, too. Now you look around Major League Baseball and you see teams going with guys like Derek Jeter, guys like Yunel Escobar when he was swinging the bat well. Offensive-minded players. Troy Tulowitzki. Go up and down just about every roster and find offense at what used to be a premium defensive position.
Yeah, the kid with the White Sox, good player too. Can swing the bat.
Alexi Ramirez.
Yeah. Thank you.
Outside corner, and Desmond is the second out. And here again, the AT Uverse trivia question. Which way you going, pal?
I think I'm going to go Grizzolanic with you. Oh, shoot. Oh, Orlando.
I'll bet you Desmond's going to have more than 17 someday.
Orlando and Jose Vidro, pretty potent offensive combo up the middle for the Expos in those days.
Braves have done a pretty good job with Ryan Zimmerman so far this year. He's 0 for 2 today. 5-game hit streak riding in the series wrap-up. Phillies play the Marlins tonight. That one starts at 7:10 Eastern Time. San Diego and the Rockies get started in about an hour and 20 minutes. There's a sweeper from Peter, and he works a perfect sixth.
Good inning.
Braves scratching, clawing back in. Middle of the order coming up in a 2-run Washington game.
Cam and the cool train on a nice warm afternoon in Atlanta. How about this? Base hit by Prado. Did it hit Jason or not? Umpire said it did. Replays on the freeze cam said, yeah, probably did. Watch a little dirt fly out of the bottom of his shoe there, too. Just clipped the bottom of his spikes. That was the Coors Light freeze cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And great camera work down there by Steve Angel, too.
Troy Glaus leads off the sixth. Something else at play in this ball game is that Atlanta has been a very good comeback team. They've been a very good offensive team from the 7th inning on. They're running into a red-hot Washington relief corps, too. How long Brannon will continue on. But if he falters, Bobby Cox knows that the Nationals' bullpen has been excellent this month of September.
I think they have 4 different guys, maybe 5, I got to look it up, that have not allowed a run this month.
Clippard, Ballister, Peralta, Burnett. And a roller foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Cutters, cutters, and more cutters from Mr. Lannon.
Moderate pitch count, 83.
Well, I hope he's got the mound the way he wants it.
Slow roller hit toward third. An easy play for Zimmerman. Retires Troy Glaus. All year long, Braves baseball on Sports South has been presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff and the low price. Matt Diaz 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles.
That's not his hole. I guess that was one dug out by Peter Moylan. No, actually, even though he toes the rubber to the left of that hole dugout, he sets his foot right in there. So that's his hole.
Matt Diaz is 3 for 3. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate.
Fastball, maybe a cutter there that just didn't move much, and Matt's all over it.
Alex popped up the first pitch he saw in the 4th inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd.
And since Alex came to Atlanta, he has not had a lot of luck against Washington pitching. He came in 5 for 24 and 0 for 2 today.
No better time to change that than right here in the 6th.
Boy. Hitters from both sides complaining about Mr. Nauert. Cutter. Fox Trek says was inside.
Alex strikes out. The bat goes into the camera well at the end of the Nationals dugout. And a few choice words from Alex Gonzalez as he walks back with the 2nd out.
Yeah, that bat chased Willie Harris, who's at the end of their dugout. You know, as a hitter that umpires are going to miss one once in a while. But boy, when they miss that called strike to make it 0-2 and just put you in a defensive posture where you've got to fight for your life as a hitter, that's what's really aggravating.
That's the human element of the game that's been around forever. All officials will tell you it's the only job in the world where you have to be perfect and get better as the game goes on. And 2-0 to Melky Cabrera.
See if Melky can ambush one here. Hitters count. I really don't expect Lannon to give him anything to hit middle of the plate in unless he runs that cutter way in on him. Staying away.
Melky's last homer was August 5th against the Mets. And now way ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike. Line drive into right. Tying runs are on base now with 2 down.
That was some smart hitting. Melky's been watching to see what Lannon had done to some guys earlier today when he was ahead in the count. And it looked like Melky was sitting all over a changeup here and hit it to right field. Didn't try to do too much with it. Drives it right into right field. Smart hitting, good piece of hitting there. Joel Peralta is in their bullpen and ready.
One great thing about that super slow-mo cam that we have, watch what else is in the screen. He almost wiped out that dragonfly. So 2 on, 2 out, David Ross.
Robbed of an RBI hit his first time up. And then with a runner at second in the 4th inning, Lannon got him to chase a sinker.
There is still a long way to go in this game. Braves have stranded 4 men so far, 3 of them in scoring position. Eight hits, 4 of them doubles.
I'd like to see Derek Lee get a chance against him because he's got pretty good numbers against Landon.
Well, he's on deck for the second time. He was last out there in the 4th inning when Ross batted. But after David grounded out, Mike Minor went out for the 5th inning.
He made those 3 good pitches to Gonzalez after getting some help from the umpire on strike 2, but since then he's had a hard time throwing strikes.
Two on, 2 out, 2-run Washington lead, and a 2-2 count. And a swing and a miss at a breaking ball retires the side. 6 strikeouts for John Lannon through 6 innings, and he still maintains his 4-2 lead. Offensively so far today.
And this was all the damage right here. The guy hitting 132. Getting a spot start today in left field, and he made the most of it in that at bat. A grand slam, and that's all their runs. 3 of their 4 hits came in that inning.
So John Lannon's been a different guy since coming back from the minor leagues. He's in line to win it as the Braves make another AT call to the bullpen and call upon Takashi Saito for the 7th. Morse, Ramos, and Alberto Gonzalez are coming up.
Our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot. Takashi Saito's been outstanding his last 14 appearances, no runs, 1 walk, 18 strikeouts.
It's Takashi's third appearance in 10 days. And the more rest he gets, the fresher and crisper his stuff seems to be.
Real good inning for Peter Moylan. A little tapper by Morgan and then a couple of strikeouts.
Alex, after a bobble, makes the play. Morse retired, 1 out. Nationals' young catcher Ramos is 2 for 2. He scored a run today. Saito now has set down 46 of the first 54 first batters he's faced this year. Excellent percentage.
That's impressive. Hey, tip of the cap to the Baltimore Orioles and Buck Showalter, getting that team back playing better baseball. I think they've won 3 or 4 straight series. Something they hadn't done in a long time. They no longer have the worst record in the American League. They're still 31 games out and quite a few games under 500. Playing a lot better baseball since Showalter took over for sure.
Fly ball center field. Melky shielding his eyes is there. And 2 are retired. 1 more homestand left during the regular season. It's your chance to join us for the final Publix Friday night fireworks show when the Braves battle the Phillies October 1st. We invite you to join us for that very exciting weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday against the Phillies. Tickets are still available online at Braves.com or by phone at 800-745-3000.
Team that's got to be the biggest disappointment, though, in the American League, in my opinion, has got to be Seattle. They've lost 90 games now. 6 in a row for a team that was expected to compete for the American League West title.
Yeah, that club seems to be Ichiro, Felix Hernandez, and who else, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough thing to say, but you're right. The Mariners were a fashionable pick to win that division. Same for the Angels. They're under 500, which is a rarity for Mike Scioscia and that Angels club. Texas, though, looks like they're going to cruise in the West. Minnesota, they have just knocked out the White Sox. And Saito has wiped out Washington in the 7th. 3 up, 3 down. Braves pitching's been good except for 1 inning today, but they're still alive. 4-2 as we stretch.
at SEC Gridiron Live. Everyone's in on the discussion.
We got some coaches giving some love tonight. It's getting heated. We're going to Twitter to see how the fans feel about it.
Tune in, log on, and sound off on SECGridironLive.com.
Seventh inning stretch, 4-2. Atlanta trails the Nationals in the rubber game of the series. John Lannon still out there for Washington. And Diori Hernandez is announced. He is going to come on and pinch hit. And it looks like Jim Riggleman is going to make a couple of changes here.
Pretty sharp move here on the part of Bobby Cox. I mean, he's had Derek Lee out there a couple of times today to pinch hit, never got up to the plate. So rather than run the risk of burning Derek Lee, he runs Diori Hernandez out there and forces a change in pitchers.
Lannon works 6, leads the game 4-2. We'll tell you about the changes in a sec. Young man some good. He's leading 4-2. That's John Lannon, the National starter. Washington brings on Adam Kennedy to play first base. Alberto Gonzalez is done for the day. And Joel Peralta takes over on the mound in his 33rd outing. And Diori Hernandez taken down for the Braves. Eric Hinsky will bat for him with nobody on or out.
Bobby Cox would have been just fine with Diori Hernandez hitting off John Lannon here in the 7th. But rather than waste one of his other right-handed pinch hitters, if Riggleman was going to make a move, it was Hernandez that was burned.
Peralta, one of those Nationals relievers that's got an impressive scoreless streak working. His is 8 innings and a third. In fact, in their last 11 collective outings, the Nationals bullpen's given up 3 earned runs in 34 2/3 innings. That's an ERA of less than a run. They have been very, very stingy.
His last 11 appearances, he's only given up 1 run in 13 innings. Got a good arm, throws hard.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
Let's get that leadoff, get this leadoff man on and get to the top of the order. Get something going here, only down by 2.
Top of the order, and Omar Infante will hit next. Nationals pen continues to work in case things, or when things get to Hayward, if anybody's aboard. Jason's due 3rd in this inning.
But here's where we can go back with our hindsight. But we were talking about how they were down 4-0 in the 2nd inning. The Braves got a leadoff double. Diaz with some good base running, moved to 3rd, but he didn't score. And even though you're down 4-0, we can talk about how, yeah, what you can start pecking away, and each run becomes significant. Even one run helps, and you get to this stage of the ball game, and you wished you had that run.
And back in the 4th, when the Braves scored for the first time, 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and they were able to score just 1 there. Popped up. Shallow center. Out goes Desmond. Morgan can't find it. Ball drops safely, and Hinsky's in at second base.
When you're coming in from the outfield looking straight up into the sun, you're the guy that's supposed to have the best shot at it. But I think Desmond's angle might have been better with regard to the sun if he had stayed with it. He peels out of the way because Morgan called for it and then lost it. So a huge break for the Braves. And now at the top of the order up there, let's see if they can capitalize and get one more in at least.
It's double all the way. Nobody touched the ball. And Atlanta now in business again with Omar Infante. A bunt. Zimmerman, off balance throw, a beautiful play. He and Peralta nearly collided. But Hinsky at 3rd now with 1 out.
Sensational play to save the hit, but a great job here by Omar of getting the runner over to 3rd base. It'll go as a sacrifice, but the barehanded pickup and the submarine toss. I mean, this is where Zimmerman likes to throw from. He'll flip the ball underhand even from a normal ground ball position. This was no trouble at all for him. Braves are in a good spot here to get another run in as the Dragonfly made a return.
So that's going to do it for Peralta. Sean Burnett is going to come on and face Jason Hayward, who represents the tying run. coming into the batter's box. And Sean Burnett is in his 66th game.
And he hasn't given up a run in his last 7 outings. Tough on lefties, though. He's got a good arm. See that crossfire action he lays on you. Good sinking action, good slider.
And I would think, you being a left-hand hitter, looks like he's throwing it in your right back pocket.
Yep. It's almost like the first thing you have to do is kind of open up a little bit just to see the ball out of his hand.
Broken bat pop. And that's caught by Espinosa for the second out. Now Prado the hitter, and he's having an interesting day. He's 3 for 3. His last 2 hits, however, he's been at first base and hasn't been the final out. Remember, he hit the ball that hit Jason Hayward on the base pass, and then
inning-ending hits.
Yeah. But he does have an RBI, 66 of those. And it's a righty-lefty matchup now, but 2 are out.
Well, he came through with 2 out back in the 5th inning. Burnett's awfully tough, as I said, on left-handed hitters. You're just hoping for at the least a ground ball from Jason because the infield was playing back. That'll take a hit or a wild pitch to get Hinske on, or an error. They made more errors than anybody.
Yeah, we won't be picky. We'll take a run or 2 any way we can get it. Prado 1 for 4 against the Nationals lefty. That 1 hit was a home run. That would be handy right here. But not this time. A slider across the shoe tops, and Atlanta strands another man in scoring position in a 4-2 game. 2 after 7. And we invite you to join us here at Turner Field for the Bobby Cox Appreciation Series, September 27th, 8th, and 9th against the Marlins. Great chance, fans, for you to get great seats for a wonderful 3-game series with big savings. You can get upper-level tickets for $6, $12 for all outfield pavilion tickets, and $24 on lower-level and club seats. To order, visit Braves.com/Bobby or call 800-745-3000 prior to the day of the game. Johnny Venter's on in relief. And Justin Maxwell flies to right on the first pitch he throws. The AT&T calls to the bullpen have worked perfectly so far. 2 1/3 innings of spotless relief for Atlanta.
Johnny had a rough series against the Cardinals. He was in 2 of those 4 games. An inning and a third total, 3 hits, 3 runs, but only 1 was earned. A couple of walks factored in there too. He's had a couple of days rest.
Adam Kennedy is the second hitter of the inning. And now ahead in the count, 3-0.
Now, you mentioned the runners in scoring position. Braves have definitely had their chances to get back in this ball game. Maybe not through a big inning, but a run at a time.
Looper over second by Kennedy on a 3-1 count. And Washington, with only 5 hits, has a man aboard.
Now, Braves 9 hits, 3 walks. And here comes Bobby with a double switch. Prado made the last out. So he would, if he was going to make a double switch, you would guess it would be with one of the top 3 guys in the order. Or is Bobby asking, you may have a lineup question here about Adam Kennedy. Was Kennedy placed in the 9 spot when they made their pitching change?
That's the information I believe we got upstairs. And so if there's a discrepancy, if that's not what Jim Riggleman told the umpires, Kennedy may have batted out of order. Let's see what the official lineup card by Paul Nauert shows.
And the only one that matters is the one that Paul Nauert's holding. This is a real rarity when this comes under such scrutiny, but this time of year, even the least little thing can really add up.
And that's why you see the managers, when they do make a double switch, they go out and they go over the lineup card with the umpire. All right, I'm going to have the pitcher bat here. I'm going to have player A bat here. And then the home plate umpire will signal to the opposing dugout, show where those players are going to be placed on the card. Then they'll signal up to the press box so the official scorer can make the notification to the members of the media broadcasting and writing about the game.
Well, you have to. If you're going to make a double switch, you got to go to the home plate umpire before you go to the mound.
So apparently the umpires straighten that out.
Satisfied Bobby's question.
Nothing apparently in error, and Kennedy now at first base with one out, and Danny Espinosa the hitter. Espinosa 0 for 3 today with a couple of strikeouts. Johnny fell behind Kennedy 3-1, and he stroked a single. He's now behind Espinosa. 2 balls, no strikes, in a spot where the Braves can't give Washington any more.
Johnny's still throwing hard. His fastball still in the mid-90s. His location's been off a little bit, and the walks have been the result in recent outings. But just like the position players, we're talking about Desmond maybe tiring a little bit because he's never played this many games before. Well, hey, Johnny Venner's been in, this is his 68th game. He's a rookie too. A lot of work for him.
He spears that ball. Bad throw. But somehow, some way, Alex was able to hold the bag at second to force Kennedy.
We've seen Alex Gonzalez make some acrobatic plays on bad throws before, but this may top them all. Plenty of time here for Johnny, and maybe too much time. Almost threw it into center field. Great job by Alex to catch the ball and stay on the bag. Foot on the bag as he caught it. But should have been a relatively easy double play ball if you'd given him a good feed.
Here's Morgan. He's 0 for 3. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 8th inning. The 4, 5, 6 hitters are scheduled for the Braves. Down 4-2. We have seen a lot of swings like that against Vetters.
See where David Ross wants him to go now. Right where he wanted it. Fastball up and away.
Good stop.
Ooh. That's one of those for the catcher where you just do your best to throw your body over there in front of it somehow and hope it's in the right position. Hope the ball finds your glove or shin guard. Nice play by Ross on that really tough hop.
And after jumping ahead 0-2, Johnny Venters throws 3 straight pitches out of the strike zone, the last of which hits Morgan. And now the Nationals have 2 on with 2 out.
And not the part of the order you want to deal with. You needed to get Morgan and get out of this inning. You got a little elbow on the elbow pad in the jersey. But now you got to get this guy that's hit 4 homers and driven in 8 runs against the Braves this year in 14 games. And Zimmerman behind him. That's going to require a trip to the mound because Venters all of a sudden is all over the place.
And Roger McDowell will get the bullpen working.
Desmond 1 for 5 against him with a strikeout.
Green light him 3-0. That'll get Johnny back in the saddle here. 3 balls and a strike. 2 on, 2 out. Bases are loaded. And now you've got a real problem. Zimmerman will hit. No place to put him. He's 0 for 3 so far in this game.
And you'd like to get ahead in the count, something
Yeah.
you haven't been able to do or weren't able to do against Desmond. And then try to dictate on the at bat how you want to, what he is supposed to swing at, what you want him to swing at. But the other side of that is that Ryan Zimmerman will ambush a first pitch fastball if that's all you're trying to do is get ahead. Craig Kimbrell loosening up in a hurry in the Atlanta bullpen.
Zimmerman 0 for 4 against Venters lifetime with 2 strikeouts. First pitch swing. Prado to his left. Gloves and makes the play. Time to get some runs. Venters pitches out of a mess of his own making. Heart of the order coming up, down 2.
Take a look at our Airtran home run leaders. Certainly saw one today from Justin Maxwell, who hit his third of the year back in the second inning off Mike Minor, and it was a grand slam. That has accounted for all the Washington scoring on the day. And that is the 15th home run hit by the Nationals against the Braves this year. The Braves, 6 home runs hit this month. That's the fewest in the major leagues, and they've allowed the 4th most, tied for the 4th most in the majors now with 16 this month.
Troy Gloss leads off the 8th. He's reached once, has scored once, and has popped out and grounded out in his other appearances in this game. Washington with a handful of defensive changes behind Burnett. Roger Bernardino takes over in left field. Justin Maxwell moves from left to right. And Mike Morse moves from right to first.
Need some base runners. Anyway, anyhow.
There's the start.
That was lovely. Pretty good pitch from Burnett. He just slaps his glove as he walks off the back of the mound. Just about a pitcher's perfect pitch there. And Troy spoiled it. Nice piece of hitting.
Freddie Freeman will pinch run. Matt Diaz is 3 for 3 this afternoon, and he is our Toyota Tundra hardest working player.
Raised his average 11 points. He's up over 250. Five for 9 in the series 2, Chip, and you remember he's been in there the whole series, even against the right-handers.
And even with Diaz swinging the bat so well, Jim Riggleman knows that when you look at the body of offensive work for the Braves this year, they've really had trouble against left-handed pitching. Braves 13th in the league in batting average against lefties, and 500 club against left-handed starters.
I don't know how he reached that. Nowhere near the target, and he just kind of leaned over and rolled over it. And if they think they have him set up for something inside because he's diving across the plate, he may have a surprise for him. Maybe not.
And you saw Matty ask, did that ball run back? And apparently the answer to that was yes, over the inside corner for the first out.
And it looks like a good call from Paul Nauert.
One on, one out for Alex Gonzalez, who's 0 for 3. The Braves have a big hit in them in the final 2 innings today. 3-0.
Hey, putting the tying runs on base with a free pass here, that would be very welcome. Alex had the big blow, the big walk-off homer against the Cardinals. Was it Saturday?
To third. One there. Two there. Braves get the leadoff man on. Cannot cash it in. And to the ninth we go. Road Series of the year leads by a 4-2 tally. And again, we invite you to join us here at the 10 for the Bobby Cox Appreciation Series, September 27th, 8th, and 9th. Buy tickets before the day of the game and save big. You'll get upper level tickets for $6, $12 for all outfield pavilion seats, and $24 on lower level and club seating. To order, visit Braves.com/Bobby or call 800-745-3000. Freddie Freeman remains in the game. He'll play first. And Craig Kimbrell is on to work the ninth.
He's fun to watch. I tell you what, this guy's last 4 major league outings, August 27th against Florida, then he was sent back to AAA for a couple of days pending the expansion of the rosters, and then 3 outings against the Cardinals. Last 4 big league outings, he has struck out 2 batters in each of those 4 innings. 8 total.
And he'll start the ninth with Mike Morse.
And only 1 walk in there.
One of the ripple effects of having Billy Wagner in your bullpen is obviously a man who has proven he knows how to close major league games. What a great tutor for guys like Johnny Venters and Craig Kimbrell. I mean, every day, talking with Eddie Perez about this, Billy Wagner's got the guys in the bullpen up in the 5th inning, getting them loose, getting them stretched out, getting ready for potential appearances in the late innings. Talking about guys and the lineup for that night, how you attack them, how you approach that situation.
Yeah, that's a wonderful resource. The same thing can be said on the bench. When you've got a veteran guy on the bench who might just walk by a young player and say, "Your leg's loose?" Because you might have been, wow, what was that pitch? You might have been sitting there for 5 or 6 innings just kind of enjoying watching the game and not even think about the possibility of pinch running. That was a beauty. Mr. Nauert's been a little inconsistent today.
95 and by Mike Morse for the first out. So as we stand right now, the Braves trail the Phillies by 2 games in the East, a game and a half in front of the Giants, 3.5 in front of the Rockies. There are the pertinent matchups this afternoon and evening. Halladay and Sosa down in Florida. Clayton Richard and Jorge De La Rosa will face off at Coors Field. Got to keep an eye on the Giants, too. They'll send Matt Cain to the mound against Chad Billingsley tonight.
How about the Dodgers beating the Giants last night on 1 hit?
And is there a more unlucky pitcher right now than Barry Zito? He's the guy that lost that game. And he's got a 9-game losing streak working. Last win was mid-July.
Kershaw only gave up 4 hits.
And Kershaw, his first major league complete game as the Dodgers won 1-0.
95, 96, 97 on his fastball for Kimbrel and a hard slider.
That'll be an interesting storyline to follow this offseason, whenever it comes for the Braves. Billy Wagner still steadfast in his commitment to retire at the end of this season. As that ball, a wicked slider to take care of Ramos for the second out. And that storyline will be, who's going to close games for the Braves next year? A lot of candidates.
And it could well be this guy. And there's his at least 2 more strikeouts again in his inning of work.
And Willie Harris in the 9th. It's been a while since the Braves have had a walk-off comeback win. They're down 2 in the 9th and have 3 outs left. They'll have to face the Nationals closer, Drew Storen. He's loosening in their bullpen. And you're seeing in this inning why some scouts have called Kimbrel a right-handed Billy Wagner. Ho-hum, 96 on the black. And he strikes out the side in the 9th inning. Braves down 2.
Inning, 4 runs in the second on the grand slam to Justin Maxwell. John Lannon in line for the win. Martin Prado's had a big day, so has Matt Diaz. So we'll hope the Braves can get something going here offensively. Our Toyota Tacoma play of the game, however, in the second inning. Look at this ground ball. Headed for center field with runners at the corners. Was going to be an RBI hit for David Ross, but it caromed off Lannon's glove right to Desmond. They turn it into an inning double play on what could have been a pretty good inning for Atlanta had that ball gotten through.
So Atlanta backed into a corner down 2 runs in the 9th inning. And now Drew Storen comes on. He's the young closer. Storen hasn't allowed a run in his last 5 innings.
And he throws hard. Signed as a starter. Kind of came up through their system as a starter. Out of Stanford.
And again was the second Nationals draft pick in 2009. They had Strasburg 1. They had this kid 10th. You get your number 1 starter and your closer in the same draft. That's pretty good work. His emergence allowed them to trade Matt Capps to the Twins. Bouncing ball towards second. 1 out in the 9th. Nate McLouth will hit. Nate's had a solid homestand, 5 hits and 11 at bats with a couple of home runs. Brian McCann on deck.
Yeah, need a base runner to bring the potential tying run to the plate.
Two outs. And it's up to McCann to keep the game alive.
The only Braves loss at home in a series this year was way back in late April against the Phillies.
Look out. That one down the tunnel. And toward the entrance of the SunTrust Club. Liner, and he missed a double by a foot.
Coming off the bench, put a good swing on it. Morse not really guarding the line, but it hooked just a little too much.
And the Washington Nationals have played the role of the spoiler in perfect fashion. They take 2 out of 3. They win this afternoon by a final score of 4-2. Only the second road winning series for Washington. Only the second home series loss for the Braves, who faded on this homestand. And it was Justin Maxwell Washington didn't need Adam Dunn to provide the power today. Maxwell, a grand slam, is the Home Depot player of the game.
A double, an infield hit, a walk preceded this home run. He has 9 career homers, 3 grand slams now. He came into the game hitting 132, and he only had 6 RBIs on the year, and he finishes the day with 10. So he's our player of the game for obvious reasons.
And this was another one of the ball games that we talked about at the start of the broadcast today. Early trouble by the starting pitcher. The